Namaste. Welcome to Agriculture Affairs in Nepal with me, Nirmala Basnet. Dear viewers, let us now start the program with the main affairs of the day. Businessmen have found it difficult to meet the growing market demand for dragon fruit. Industry, Commerce and Supply Minister Dilendra Prasad Baru has said that the government is preparing to put the Janakpur cigarette factory into operation. In Nepal's existing agricultural policy, environmental agriculture, the budget situation and the practices being carried out by the farmers have been discussed as well as studied and researched. Plus more. Let us continue the program with the news on dragon fruit. This Honolulu queen is still advancing more in Nepal. Many people in the country have discovered that dragon fruit is lucrative and are investing their money and time on this fruit. Many people who do not know how to utilize their time are engaged in cultivation of fruits of different varieties in the country. Among the fruits, dragon fruit requires less time and earns more cash, say the farmers. This fruit is full of nutrition. Businessmen have found it difficult to meet the growing market demand for dragon fruit. Let us now look at this news report for a little while. Recently, it has been difficult for businessmen to cope with the growing market demand for dragon fruit. Dragon fruit, which was not known to most of the people until some time ago, is now in high demand in the market. Due to the increasing market demand, the commercial potential of dragon fruit has also increased. At this time, Gokarna Bahadur Oli of Kanchanpur has started enjoying dragon fruit farming. Some people are still ignorant about the dragon fruit, but Oli says that the demand for it in the main cities of the country has been very high recently.
मेरो बसाइ त अहिले महेन्द्रनगरमा हो तर यो चाहिँ लगाउने खेती यो कसरी सोच आयो भने अब त्यतिकै यो युट्युब हेरिराखे थिए युट्युबमा हेर्दाखेरि अब यो लगाएको देखियो देख्दाखेरि अरु लखै म पनि लगाउन त भनेर त्यसपछि त्यो सोच बनाएर चाहिँ लगाउन थालेको कसरी लगाउने के गर्ने भन्ने बारेमा मेरो सल्लाहकार चाहिँ इन्डियाको विजय शर्मा डाक्टर विजय शर्मा भन्ने मान्छे हो त्यसपछि उहाँसँग सल्लाह लिएर मैले लगाउन सुरु गरे उहाँको फर्महरुमा पनि गएर म बसे हैन 8-10 दिन जति उहाँको 2-3 पटक गरेर 8-10 दिन बसेर पछि उहाँसँग सल्लाह लिएर मैले लगाउन सुरु गरे.
This fruit of this species is found in America, Mexico, and South American countries. Now its commercial cultivation has started in Nepal as well. Oli rented 1.5 biga of land in Teghari, Godavari municipality of Karalali for the first time in Sudur Pashchim state and has been cultivating it for a year. He said that he cultivated dragon fruit by watching the YouTube. Oli rented land in Teragi of Ataria and started farming professionally from 2077 Shravan. He says that even though there is a lot of demand for dragon fruit in the market, they are not able to supply it. He said that even those who came to the place where the dragon fruit was planted, they could not supply it because it had not borne fruit. Since the produced fruits are collected at the farm, there is no need to take them to the market. From the initial stage, 39 lakh rupees have been invested so far. He said that he has sold 500 kilograms of dragon fruit within a year. They brought seedlings from Dang and Sinduli for cultivation and planted 3,500 seedlings in 1.5 biga of land.
केजीसम्म बेच्न सक्छौं भन्ने सोच चाहिँ बनाएको छौं. साथ अब अहिले त एकदम चाहिँ यहाँ मागहरु धेरै छ यहाँ. अब यहीँबाट लग्नुहुन्छ हामी यहाँबाट बाहिर कहीं पनि चाहिँ पुगाउन गएको छैनौं. यहाँ आउनु चाहिँ कहीं मान्छेहरु फर्केर जानुहुन्छ. फल त उत्पादन छैन. खाली यो बोर्ड मात्रै चाहिँ छ र फल त उत्पादन छैन. अब आउँदो वर्षदेखि हाम्रो ग्राहकहरु फर्किदैन यहाँदेखि.
He has also planted intercrops within dragon fruit farming. He has been paying for the land rent from the intercrop planted in dragon fruit farming. Oli is planning to expand the farm. They have also set a target of producing 5,000 dragon fruit plants for the coming fiscal year. After the news report, let us now see the news on cigarette factory. Nepal has the highest number of women smokers in the world. Smoking is injurious to health. Nepal has a booming business of cigarettes and cigars. We have cigarette factories that make billions of rupees by selling the cigarettes. Some cigarette factories were closed down. Now the new industry minister is saying that the closed industry will be coming into operation. This will earn the country a large revenue. Tobacco is grown all over Nepal, so there will be no problem for the raw material. Industry, Commerce and Supply Minister Dilendra Prasad Badu has said that the government is preparing to put the Janakpur cigarette factory into operation. Let us now look at this news report for a little while. Industry, Commerce and Supply Minister Dilendra Prasad Badu has said that the government is preparing to put the Janakpur cigarette factory into operation. On Wednesday, Industry Minister Badu said this while talking to the media after inspecting the Janakpur cigarette factory, which has been closed for a long time. He said that after studying the machines of the closed cigarette factories, which were operated under the ownership of the government and earned a name, they will bring the machines that are in use into operation. Minister Badu said that the government has planned to increase the capacity of the industries to increase national production, run them at full capacity, open new industries and bring sick industries into operation. He mentioned that the old industries should be run at their full capacity and the government would attract domestic and foreign investors by giving various concessions to open new industries and bring the sick industries owned by the government into operation, either by collaborating with the private sector or by leasing them to the private sector.
अवस्थामा राष्ट्रिय उत्पादन बढाउन जरुरी छ। हामी धेरै आयातमुखी भएका छौं। हाम्रो उत्पादन बढ्यो भने आयातलाई कम गर्न सकिन्छ र यस्ता उद्योगहरू बढाउँ जसले निर्यात गर्न सक्दछ। निर्यातजन्य उद्योग चलाउनेहरूका लागि विशेष सुविधा सरकारले दिएर बिजुलीमा सहुलियत, नगदमा सहुलियत दिने नीतिहरू अहिले सरकारले पास गरेको छ। त्यसकारण उद्योगहरू पुनः चलाउने र निर्यातको अवस्थामा पुर्याउने, राम्रो गुणस्तरमा चलाउने हो भने मुलुकको व्यापार घाटा पनि कम गर्न सकिन्छ। त्यसकारणले सरकारले अहिले गरेको निर्णयलाई कार्यान्वयन गर्नका निमित्त पनि यो बन्द रहेका उद्योगहरूको अवस्था अहिले के छ त्यसलाई हेर्ने र यहाँका साथीहरूले के भन्छन् त्यो पनि सुन्ने हो। यहाँका उद्योग वाणिज्य संघवालाहरुसित हामी बस्छौं, उहाँ यसको स्टेक होल्डरहरू हो, उहाँ के चाहनुहुन्छ र यहाँको अहिले प्रदेश सरकार बनिसकेका छ, उहाँहरुसित पनि हामी बस्न चाहन्छौं। उहाँहरुको के उद्देश्य छ, उहाँ के चाहनुहुन्छ, हामीले उहाँहरुसित पनि अन्तर्क्रिया गर्ने, उहाँहरुको सुझाव पनि लिने र यी सबै उद्देश्यका निमित्त हामी आएका हौं। र अब थाहा छैन टेक्निकली कति मसिन उपयोगीमा हुन्छन्, तर हामीले हेर्दाखेरि मसिन काम लाग्न सक्छ पनि भनिरहेका छन्। त्यसकारणले यिनको एउटा मूल्याङ्कन गरेर एउटा उपयुक्त मोडेल तयार गरेर हामी यिनलाई पुनः सञ्चालनको निमित्त तयारी गरिरहेको छ सरकारले। त्यसकारण म यहाँ आएको।
Minister Badu said that Biratnagar Jute Mill, Janakpur Cigarette Factory, Hetauda Garment Industry, Butwal Garment Industry, Gorakhkali Rubber Industry, which are owned by the government, are closed. He insisted that there is a need to bring closed industries into operation in order to improve the country's economic situation, reduce trade deficit, and replace imports. After the news report, let us now see the news on workshop on agriculture and agriculture policies. There are new policies in the country for the farmers. There are new policies for agriculture in the country. Nepali agriculture should be sustainable for the future of our country. The agriculture should be able to preserve the indigenous crops and the indigenous biomass. The climate change should be discussed with new light to combat the change in weather patterns, which have great impact on the way we live. The Nepali government says that it is doing work to improve, but I see that we need a new strategy to overcome the hurdles that come along the way. In Nepal's existing agricultural policy, environmental agriculture, the budget situation and the practices being carried out by the farmers have been discussed as well as studied and researched. Let us now look at this news report for a little while. In Nepal's existing agricultural policy, environmental agriculture, the budget situation, and the practices being carried out by farmers have been discussed as well as studied and researched. The climate and environment that are becoming polluted day by day are endangering the lives of living beings and also affecting the agricultural production. Discussions and reflections on the issue of food safety have started. Currently, the crisis in food and nature has become a topic of global debate, which is directly related to agriculture. Agriculture is the main sector not only for food but also for income and employment of common Nepalese. Keeping these things in mind, Action Aid Nepal, National Federation of Farmers Groups, and Agriculture Campaign for Food have conducted research on environmental agriculture policies, budget, and practices of farmers. Dr. Krishna Prasad Paudel, an agricultural policy analyst and campaigner, said that the current government is allocating policies, programs, and budgets only for public attractiveness rather than based on farmers.
पालिका स्तरको कृषि कार्यक्रम कस्तो बनाउने भनेर उहाँहरुसँग हामी एक खालको संवादमा छौं। अब अलिअलि सहकारी भन्दा पनि हुन्छ, त्यो हिसाबले पनि हामीले लियौं। अब कर्णालीको त म हैन लामो समय कर्णाली प्रदेशमै काम गरे, त्यसले गर्दाखेरि त्यसका बारेमा अलि धेरै थाहा छ, तर अहिले कुरा गर्दिन। म यति भन्दै अब अलिकति यो प्रायोरिटीहरु केमा राखियो त यति हुँदा हुँदै पनि, यति थोरै पर्सेन्ट हुँदा हुँदै पनि प्रायोरिटीहरु केमा छ भन्ने कुराको सानो माकुरे जालो बनाउने कोसिस गरेको। किनभने अघि केदारजीले भने जस्तो हाम्रा हैन अब यो याफेको परिभाषा भन्दाखेरि पनि केही अनर्थ लाग्दैन, तर सिंगो किसानीमा आधारित खेतीपातीको विभिन्न आयामहरुलाई विचार गरेर कुरा गर्दाखेरि बजेटको एलोकेसन कहाँ कसरी छ त भनेर हेर्दा हामीले त्यो चाहिँ फेरि घटलाग्दो छ। घटलाग्दो किन छ भने अघि भनेकै कुरा दोहोरिन्छ।
Likewise, MP Dr. Bimala Rai Paudel said that the participation of women in agriculture is more than that of men, and while evaluating women's knowledge and skills, she said that women-friendly technology is necessary. Although she brought policy, rules, laws, and budget for agriculture, she said that the implementation is thin.
यहाँहरुको प्रस्तुति त्यो समितिहरुमा पुगेर अनि सांसदहरुलाई पनि अलि बढी चाहिँ जिम्मेवार बनाउन सक्यौं, मन्त्रीहरुलाई पनि त्यही बोलाएर अलि बढी जिम्मेवार बनाउन सक्यौं भनेदेखि अझै बढी प्रभावकारी होला जस्तो चाहिँ मलाई लाग्छ। मलाई एकदम मजाले चाहिँ प्रष्ट रूपमा आएको मेसेज अर्को के हो भने पैसा बढाएर मात्रै पर्यावरण कृषिको प्रबन्धन हुँदैन, कतिजनाले गरिराख्नु भएको छ, त्यो गरेकोमा चाहिँ कतिपय ठाउँमा सेवाले अड्किएको छ, कतिपय ठाउँमा बजारले अड्किएको छ, कतिपय ठाउँमा प्रविधिले अड्किएको छ। त्यो भएर यो सेवाको बजारको प्रविधिको कुराहरु चाहिँ सरकारले ग्यारेन्टी दिनुपर्ने हुन्छ, त्यतातिर पनि हामीले चाहिँ मेसेजलाई क्लियर बनाएर लैजाउँ जस्तो।
Ecological agriculture is an integrated system that emphasizes the sustainability of the overall aspect of agricultural production, such as soil, water, air, biodiversity, and other natural resources. Localization of the food system has become essential in the current context. For this, the local government, farmers, and associations related to agriculture have an important role. The Lakshmi Shrestha, president of Yuba Kishan Sangh, said that there is a need for policies and programs to ensure farmers' investment, production, marketing, and price.
मैले यहाँ देखेको चाहिँ जो अब यहाँ समस्याहरु यही छन् भनिएको छ, जस्तो कृषिमा सुरक्षा भन्ने कुरा राखियो भने कृषिको सुरक्षाले धेरै कुरालाई समेट्छ भन्ने लाग्छ मलाई। कृषिको सुरक्षा भन्ने कुरा पोलिसीमा आएन भने तबसम्म त्यहाँ केही पनि अवस्था हुँदैन, किन कृषिको सुरक्षा भयो भने त्यहाँनेरि किसान उत्पादन गर्ने किसानको चाहिँ उत्पादनको सुरक्षा, उसले उत्पादन गरेको चीजको चाहिँ उस के भन्छ बजारको सुरक्षा, त्यसपछि उसको लगानीको सुरक्षा देखि लिएर सबै कुराको सुरक्षा हुन्छ र उसको जीवनसँग पनि सुरक्षा हुन्छ। त्यसपछि जब उसले उत्पादन गरेको चीजको सुनिश्चित हुन्छ भने त्यसपछि उ आफ्नो जीवनको पनि सुरक्षा हुने कारणले गर्दाखेरि त्यसमा चाहिँ सुरक्षाको कुरालाई चाहिँ पोलिसी लेभलबाट अलिकति हेर्नुपर्छ भन्ने मलाई लागेको छ। र अर्को कुरा भनेको चाहिँ जस्तो अहिले हामीले यो किसानमा जो अघि पनि भन्नुभएको धेरै चाहिँ यहाँ चाहिँ हामी कृषिको विशेषज्ञता हासिल गरेको युवालाई उत्पादन गर्छौं, तर त्यो उत्पादन भएका युवा दक्ष जो जनशक्ति छ त्यसलाई चाहिँ परिचालन गर्न सक्ने हाम्रो नीति कहाँ, त्यो नीति कहाँनिर बन्छ र कसरी बन्छ भन्ने कुराको चाहिँ त्यो यस्तो खालको चाहिँ ओभरअलमा यो आगो छ होला, तर यो विषयगत हिसाबले त्यो कुरालाई सम्बोधन गर्न सकिएन भने अझै पनि यो अहिले होइन हाम्रो अर्को शताब्दी पुरा गर्दा पनि यो कृषिमा रूपान्तर आउँदैन।
After the federalization of the country, all the rights of the agriculture are with the local government. It is necessary for the local government to identify the needs of the farmers, local production, resources, and start sustainable agricultural production. Also, while promoting local agriculture, it seems that the farmers should emphasize on the practices and efforts made at the local level. After the news report, let us now see the news on Agriculture Ministry. The Ministry of Agriculture is very important for the improvement of agriculture in the country. The Nepali agriculture is still primitive, and we have most of the population which is engaged in agriculture. The agriculture is what feeds every nation around the world, but Nepal has to import the food from foreign countries. So there is no balance between the production and number of people engaged into agriculture. Now the best option is for the agriculture of the country to be mechanized so that the human labor is decreased. The Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development has received 10 Arba rupees for the implementation of the program to increase production in agriculture and become self-sufficient. Let us now look at this news report for a little while. The Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development has received 10 Arba rupees for the implementation of the program to increase production in agriculture and become self-sufficient. Apart from the regular budget of the current fiscal year, the ministry received 10 Arba. It is said that the Ministry of Agriculture has been conducting various programs with the goal of becoming self-sufficient in agriculture within 3 to 5 years. And for the implementation of these programs, the Ministry of Finance has given 10 Arba rupees under the heading of self-sufficiency this time. According to the Ministry of Agriculture, funds have been allocated in the Red Book under this heading, which is not mentioned anywhere in the budget of the current fiscal year. After the budget of this title came, the discussion has started in the Ministry of Agriculture about how to spend it and under which title to spend it. The main agencies working in the field of production increase and self-reliance are the Department of Agriculture and Department of Animal Services. According to the ministry, the two bodies have been asked to study and prepare a report, and after the report, the work will proceed. After the news report, let us now take a small commercial break. Stay with Krishi Television. After the commercial break, welcome back to Agriculture Affairs in Nepal. Dear viewers, let us now see the news on promotion of organic production. Going organic is the dream of most of the countries around the world. In the 21st century, the health of the people is affected by the chemically treated food. We have so many different types of diseases that have been infecting the human race. Not only the human race is affected, the whole biomass is affected. The Nepali government intends to go organic within the next 10 years. However, there are no organic fertilizer factories that can support the fertilizer that is required. It is time that each village establish an organic fertilizer factory. A national organic gathering is going to be organized with the aim of promoting organic farming. Let us now look at this news report for a little while. Poultry businessmen are in trouble due to the illegal import of Indian chicken from various points in Bangi. Every day, the police have been removing illegal chickens from the border crossing between Nepal and India. There are about 500 poultry businesses in Bangi, and they are producing 3 lakh chicks every month. About 15 crore rupees have been invested in poultry business in the district. According to the District Poultry Traders Association, the investment made in the poultry industry has shrunk due to the illegally imported chicken from India. There is an investment of 1 crore 50 Arba rupees in poultry business in Nepal. It has contributed 4% to Nepal's gross domestic product and has directly employed 8 lakh people. After the news report, let us now see the news on farmer ID. Nepali farmers are going to be given ID cards. This might help in the identification of the farmers who are left in the shadows. The farmers should be well informed on what the government of Nepal is doing. When the farmers are aware of what kind of facilities are available, they will automatically be helped and the agriculture in the country could move forward. We get news that the farmers are not given facilities that the government is supposed to give. The Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development has started the hallmark of distribution of farmer ID cards. Let us now look at this news report for a little while. The Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development has started the hallmark of distribution of farmer ID cards. According to the Ministry of Agriculture, preparations are being made to classify the listed farmers and give them identity cards and distribute service facilities based on that. The Ministry of Agriculture has already listed 7.5 lakh farmer households across the country, and the process of listing is still going on. According to the ministry, farmers who have been listed will be classified and distributed with farmer ID cards. After the distribution of the card, the services provided to the farmers by the government and other agencies will be provided on the basis of the identity card. According to the ministry, the work of registering farmers has been going on for a year, and the households of 7.5 lakh farmers have been registered within 1 year. A committee will be formed to classify the registered farmers. The committee will study the listed farmers and classify them. After collecting all the details of a farmer, the government will determine the level. According to the same level, the ministry will prepare plans and programs for agriculture by giving them identity cards and giving them facilities. After the news report, let us now see the news on tiger population in Nepal. Tigers are not very popular with the farmers of Nepal as they eat the goats and other livestock from the farms. This is why this topic is very sensitive. As the man takes up the dwelling places of the wild animals, there is conflict between the man and the wild animals. The wild animals have also the right to live and thrive on earth, as they were also created to dwell on earth. As man uses the resources of the earth, the flora and fauna of the earth are disappearing. However, the next report is encouraging. Nepal has been established as a successful country in tiger conservation. Let us now look at this news report for a little while. Nepal has been established as a successful country in tiger conservation. 120 tigers have been added to Nepal in the last 4 years. With the increase in the number of tigers, it is necessary to protect the settlements around the protected area. Prime Minister Sherbadur Deuba has said that the tiger, which is a unique and rare wild animal of nature, it is important from the economic, social, cultural, environmental and tourism point of view. On the occasion of the World Tiger Day, he called for the conservation of tigers as the environment cleaner. Mentioning that Nepal is one of the few countries in the world where tigers can be found, Prime Minister Deuba said that the tourism activities will increase through the protection of tigers. Prime Minister Deuba said that it is necessary to improve the livelihood of the local people by managing the habitat of tigers. Prime Minister Deuba said that the further study and research is necessary to end the challenges of tiger conservation, and it is necessary to protect the settlements around the protected areas.
पर्यावरणीय धार्मिक सांस्कृतिक पर्यटकीयले बहुत राखेको छ। बाघ वीरता र साहसको प्रतीक हो। हिन्दू धार्मिक परम्परा अनुसार बाघलाई भगवती देवीको वाहनको रूपमा कसरी पूजा गर्ने गरिन्छ। बाघको संरक्षण गरेर वातावरणीय सन्तुलन स्वच्छता कायम हुन्छ। बाघको संरक्षणबाट मुलुकमा पर्यटकीय क्रियाकलापलाई वृद्धि गर्ने आर्थिक लाभ समेत लिन सकिने हुन्छ। विभिन्न कारणले रोकथाम गरिएको दुर्लभ जङ्गली जानवर बाघ पाइने विश्वका सीमित मुलुकहरूमध्ये नेपाल पनि एक हो।
The number of tigers in Nepal has increased. In 2018, there were 235 tigers, and since then it has increased to 355. 120 tigers have been added in the last 4 years. Likewise, former Prime Minister and Chairman of CPN, Madhav Kumar Nepal, requested the ministry and the agencies under it to protect tigers. He also suggested to reward those who do good work in the field of tiger conservation. He says that if nature cannot be protected, no animal can be protected. So everyone should work together to protect it from their own place.
बाघको संरक्षण कसरी गर्ने भन्ने सन्दर्भमा नेपालले विश्वलाई एउटा उदाहरण प्रस्तुत गरेको छ। म यसको निम्ति हाम्रो सम्बन्धित निकायका सबैलाई विशेष रूपमा बधाई र धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु। तपाईहरु जो वनसँग जोडिनु भएको छ, राष्ट्रिय निकुञ्जसँग जोडिनु भएको छ, त्यसमा विशेष गरेर नेपाली सेनाले यदि त्यो महत्त्वपूर्ण भूमिका खेल्ने काम नगरेको भए र वनसँग जोडिएका त्यहाँ फिल्डका कर्मचारीहरू नजुटेको भए अनि यो माफियासँगको सम्बन्ध तोड्न अनि सेटिङ तोड्न तपाईँहरू समर्थन नभएको भए यो सम्भव थिएन। हामी नेपालको राजनीतिमा सेटिङ शब्द धेरै प्रयोग हुने गर्दछ, माफिया शब्दको प्रयोग हुने गर्दछ। कसो यो ठाउँमा त्यो भाइरस मरेछ, पस्यो होइन, थियो, मर्यो। नभए पहिले हामी सुन्थ्यौँ बाघ मारिए, गैडा मारिए, अहिले बाघ मारिएको खबर त्यति सुन्दैन।
At the World Tiger Conference held in St. Petersburg, Russia in 2010, Nepal pledged to double the number of tigers in Nepal by 2022. According to the commitment made by 13 countries of the world, Nepal has succeeded in making more than double. Nepal has been established as a successful country in tiger conservation. This is all in Agriculture Affairs in Nepal with me, Nirmala Basnet. Before I go, let us review the main affairs of the day. Businessmen have found it difficult to meet the growing market demand for dragon fruit. Industry, Commerce and Supply Minister Dilendra Prasad Baru has said that the government is preparing to put the Janakpur cigarette factory into operation. In Nepal's existing agricultural policy, environmental agriculture, the budget situation and the practices being carried out by the farmers have been discussed as well as studied and researched. Thank you for watching Agriculture Affairs in Nepal with me, Nirmala Basnet. I'll be back with more affairs next time. Till then, Jai Krishi, Jai Kishan, Samriddha Krishi, Nepal Kushan.